It's going to be recorded. When we go live, it's also being recorded. Um, but we have the option to just record without going live. But with this group right here, we're going live. We go recording when we're not sure. But the problem here is that I have
We're
like a.
actually live right now.
I know.
Oh,
Yeah, we're talking. This is
okay.
Cal. Do you want me to start?
Okay, all right. No, no, no. I was
Okay,
just
I
talking.
got it. I'm explaining to everybody that there's a ring around my screen on my laptop that's like a light, an extra light, and it's blocking some of the functions for me, accessing some of the functions. But anyway, welcome everybody. Welcome to Reality Speaks TV. What's the day? Monday the 26th, 2026. And half of the country is full of snow from Texas all the way up to the Northeast. We're here in Central New York, Utica to be specific and exact. And we got about a foot out there. I've been inside all day. And what we want to do is kind of continue a series. This is like a pop up type podcast, a series from last year, like December. We was addressing holiday blues, was addressing seasonal depression, and cabin fever. Here we are now, stuck in. I've been in a few days, and we thought, this would be a perfect day to have a discussion. You know, no, but I know there's no questions, no specific questions. We're gonna free flow. We want people to talk about what they're feeling, like simple things. Let's get rid of some frustration among friends, let's open it up. So that's the idea of it. Really relaxed in this winter. So we're gonna go around and first introduce everyone. I'll start my co-host.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for
Yes,
listening
yes.
for this impromptu vodcast tonight. And I just wanted to say, when you asked what was the date was, I'm like, that's the part of my cabin fever. Like, oh, what day is? It's Monday. What time? And then the way I'm sleeping. And it's just like I just actually got up and I felt like I just got up as if I went to bed for 8 hours and I probably only slept for, maybe 1 or 2. So it's just like one of those like groggy, dragging. Thank you for being here. That's why I'm thanking y'all for being here. Because being here was a chore for me. So I'm happy that y'all all made it. Shout out to Chris, Shamaya, and Onika.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks for
Yes.
coming.
Okay, we're gonna go next to Chris. What's up? Introduce yourself.
What's
Whatever's on
good?
your mind.
I'm Chris. I'm a friend of Sparkles and Onika's, and she just texted me a little bit ago and asked me to join. And yeah, a conversation with Sparkle is always enlightening. Um, so I'm excited.
Yay.
Okay.
I'm a
Eh,
teacher. I live in Utica. Today I don't know how many inches we shovel, but there was a lot of snow. We stayed inside all day. Um, yeah, it was a nice cool day. Cold
And
day.
okay.
you didn't say that you are the dad of the cutest child on the internet, world traveler.
Right,
That
right.
part.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
How is she holding up? Where's she at in all of this?
She's great. She's sleeping.
She's sleeping. Okay,
Yeah,
good,
but
good.
she loves the snow. But we didn't go out today. It was too cold. I mean, I went out to shovel, but we didn't even. She didn't even leave the house today.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Kamaya, how about you? Right? Did I pronounce it right? Kamaya, right?
Shamaya.
Huh?
Shamaya. Hi,
Shamaya. I was right there. Somebody.
I'm
Shamaya.
Shamaya.
Okay, okay.
Hello, I'm Shamaya. Um, you just wanted we're just introducing ourselves, or
Yeah, you could tell us your name and just a brief how you feeling, what's up, anything that's on your mind.
well, I had one of those days where it's like, I'm not really going anywhere. Should I get up? And something told me to get up. So when Sparkle texted me, I was glad she did because I was rejuvenated and had my coconut oil on. I was ready. So this topic is definitely something I can relate with. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I have two big kids in school, but I do have a toddler, and that just it keeps you going. So it's nice to get, to be able to have these conversations and, bounce back on someone, see how everyone mental's doing, and
Okay.
either give advice or take from. You never know. Everyone has different coping methods.
Mhm.
So thank you for having me, guys.
Thank you for
Absolutely.
coming. This line's right with us. And Onika.
Hi guys.
All right.
My name is Onika. I know most of the faces here. Shemai, it's so wonderful to meet you. It's always good to meet new people and to get it connected with everyone. Um, I mean, I don't know. I'm a mother of five. I'm also an attorney by trade. I'm actually an immigration attorney, and we know what's going on right now. So the secondary trauma is crazy, and just trying to keep my clients and myself alive. And I'm also, involved in community activism and things like that. Just happy to be here. I came to Utica in 2018 and I met Sparkle and Chris and everyone else. And I'm so locked in that I'm in Florida and I'm like, you guys are my circle. I'm like, what friends? So, that kind of ties into that isolation and cabin fever and everything else. Not only with I don't have snow, but it's a little cold, and just not being able to jump on a flight and come see my people, right? Because you guys are snowed in. I need to see y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So my name is on social media. I use this name, y'all carriers, and but my name is Kamal. First of all, I just wanted to say the idea came to me around 6 o'clock to do this, and Sparkle was napping. Uh, and so I kind of woke her up for it, and so we had to do a fly at the last minute, and you know, and look at this, so it was meant to be. And then she got up and did a few things to also make it happen. So, I appreciate you for that. I'm gonna say that loud,
Aw.
definitely. This sometimes that's what it takes to make it happen, right?
Yes.
My name is, and I said, and so I'm also a co-founder of Reality Speaks TV. I spent a lot of time in the background trying to let Sparkle do a lot of things. And we supporting the Sister Cipher, which is more female topic. That gets a lot of attention. It's very necessary. So I stay in the background with it a lot. When it comes to the female issues, and it's thriving. I think the latest thing we did was the redlining, and that gave us the most numbers. It's the most
That was
interesting.
the
Right.
most popular
Yeah.
show
Right.
ever. And we've been
Hmm.
doing this for almost 3 years.
Right.
And it was only up a week ago. Like, I'm
Yeah.
so excited. It's like almost
Very hot
10,000
topic.
people listening so quickly.
It was very
Oh.
surprising.
Yeah.
But the idea of doing this for me, I'm into this health and wellness vibe with myself, and I want to spread it as much as I can. Um, and there's so many things going on, but for this show, frustration to me is a silent killer. And I mean, it doesn't get any attention. It doesn't get the attention it deserves. We talk about frustration. I'm just frustrated. Like, we don't say we just had a heart attack or I'm stressed. I'm just frustrated like it's nothing. But enough of that frustration is more than just frustration. It's stress, it's anxiety. It can even be trauma because it's frustration from finances and in this case just being cooped up. I think we even felt a little we had to check ourselves, like we was giving it to each other because we've been cooped up all day. And that's something that had happened from COVID as well. So this is in the vein of just battling frustration. That's the intention behind what we're doing. And please, whatever it is, if it's this little, like I got a list this long of things I need to do. You know what? That alone is frustrating. And we don't even think it's nothing. But if it's frustrating us, it's attacking everything, the heart and everything. So we really need to take frustration serious. And my soapbox is down. Did you have something you want to say?
Well, I want to say that I feel a little bit I'm silly now because you literally had to pull and drag and kick and scream to get me in
I
front
didn't
of the
give all that up, but
I know, but I have to just say because you said that you appreciate me, and I have to, say that a part of that frustration and cabin fever, I didn't want to get out the bed. I'm like, this bed is comfortable. I know it's snow outside, but I'm getting up and talk to who? We going on Sunday. Like we got mad content. Let me just post what we got. but to his point, now look how God orchestrated the fact that we need to come together and talk to people about this real quick. It doesn't have to be like, long and drawn out, but just a little quick, like, we see y'all. Thank you for showing up. This is what it means. But I wanna, pass the mic to our
Of course.
co-hosts
Yeah,
to
sure.
See where they at,
Of course.
with it.
Absolutely. So, I don't know if I should ask a question or respond to. I'm gonna leave it up to you guys for a change. Do you guys have anything specific you want to talk about, or I could comment on one or two things that was said by you when you introduced yourself? Anything?
I I guess I'll just start talking, I guess. So
Okay.
I wanted to share a couple of things, like I think what Sparkle and what you just said, Kamal, is that a lot of times we just say, "Oh, I'm just frustrated, whatever," but we don't realize the subconscious things that may be going on subconsciously, physically, or whatever else that may be causing that lethargic feeling or that just feeling of just not with it. So I just wanted to say like a couple things that I learned when I was in upstate New York, and I'm still struggling with it now. Not because I mean, we have our winters are not as harsh, but it's still winter time, right? You still have less things to do. You still have less people to communicate with, and let's be real, those naps just kick in. I was actually
Mhm.
getting ready to take a nap when Sparkle messaged me. But I wanted to
Mhm.
share two things that I've been doing for self realization and to realize that it's not just me stressed out and what I need to do to help myself as well as physically. So I've been listening to this audiobook. I was pulling it up. It's called, I don't know if I mentioned it the last time, but it's called The Body Keeps the Score.
Oh
Brain,
yes.
Brain, Mind, and Body in the Healing of Trauma by
Yes.
Bessel van der Kolk. And pretty much, I mean, it just talks about, it explains how trauma physically reshapes the brain and the body. I mean, that is awesome. Like some people might not be able to sit there and read the whole book, but I found that because of my ADHD, it's easier for me to just listen to it on an audio audible, and it just kind of talks about trauma and how that trauma physically reshapes the brain and the body, leading to lasting effects on your mental and your physical health. So when you think like, oh, I'm this big, strong black woman, I ain't got time for that. Yeah, he did what, they did what, whatever. I'm sure, and you move on from
Mhm.
it, but your body keeps the score, right? So you have to find different ways. And I've been trying to find in myself, find different ways to help my body to release the toxins or whatever else may be building up. And this book is a really it's really inspirational. There's some really good ideas of how to get beyond that. The
Mm,
second thing I had to say is in the wintertime, we just don't have enough sunshine. In
mm,
2008, in Utica, you guys just don't get enough sunshine, period, like all through the year. But in the wintertime, especially. And what one thing my doctor said because when I was in Utica, there became one point in time when I couldn't even climb my stairs. I was so tired, exhausted, my bones hurt. I was like, oh my God, am I dying? But then when I
mm,
went to the doctor, they said I was severely vitamin D deficient.
mm.
Vitamin D deficiency it's a strong indicator and leads to depression, body pain, aches, pains, just constantly tired. And my doctor said the statistics say that most people in upstate New York have vitamin D deficiency and they just don't know about it. The other thing about being deficient in vitamin D is that if you've noticed, and I've seen it on Facebook a lot, who's dying from cancer, who's going through cancer treatment, whatever, it also affects your ability to fight, and it ties in to the development of different cancers in the body. So it's okay. We're talking about our mental health, and okay, how do we get out of this, like feeling of drag? But it's more than just that. Like literally, we're dying, right? Because of the toxins and the
Yeah.
lack of vitamin D and everything else. And what we consider cabin fever, isolation, and depression, it's so much more than that going on in our body. So that's my
Mm-hmm.
tip. Read a good book and get up on them vitamin D and that iron.
Mm.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that.
Mhm.
Um, Did you want? How about you, Shemaya? Are you ready? Do you have something, or should I ask
Yeah.
you a question?
So
Okay.
she kind of like everything I was gonna say. She kind of like touched on it, so I love that. I also want to say what helped me and has been helping me is getting a hobby. Reading is a hobby, yes, but getting challenging yourself. And now I took it upon myself to crochet. Do I know anything about crocheting? No. I made a hat. I'm making another hat, but it's the fact of I'm taking this time to get to know what I can and cannot do. Like I'm pushing myself. So along with the supplements, my mom, Sister Tioka, she got me taking my vitamin D, my vitamin B, and my iron. That alone has made me feel like a lot chirpier, but like the hobby of completing something or doing something for myself. So that was one of the things. And then as far as like when she was talking about the book, how we do store trauma, I've been teaching
Hmm.
myself to be a little more gentle. Like I said, I have 3 children, so I'm going through this place like a warden. I'm going room to room like, hey, this is not like that. This is. I take it to myself now. The best thing I can do for myself and the most free thing I can do for myself is to breathe to the point where I'm breathing in, I'm letting it out. I'm breathing in for 4, I'm letting it out for 6. I got the baby coming to me. I'm like, did you take your breaths? Because listen, there's only so much we can control in this life. And what I'm not gonna do is not control my breath. It's my right to breathe. And I kid you not, I've been having problems with my vagus nerve. I realize sometimes I have to say, drop your shoulders, unclench your jaw, smile. And so if you got some post-it notes, maybe leave yourself, my baby knocked them down, but leave yourself a note so you can look up and you're in the middle of doing something, you're like, oh, smile, release. So, it's just the little things. Like I realize you gotta love yourself how you would love the love of your life. I have no problem. Sparkle could call me right now. Hey, could you help? Could you come do my dishes? Oh, nigga could be like, I just can't do my living room. I will come over and I would do that for y'all because y'all my sisters. Whether we met last year, last week, 5 minutes ago, you too, Chris. I'm gonna come. I'm vacuuming. I'm sweeping. I'm mopping. But who's doing that for me? If I won't allow no one in and I won't do it for myself, so I had to realize I had to be my lover. I'm looking for love and it's in me. So even on the days when I don't feel like it, I'm gonna do some edges. I'm gonna put on some music. I'm gonna sweep something. I'm not gonna walk by it. And I don't know if it's with me turning 27 last year, but something clicked, and I realized we got to be that push for ourselves. Especially during this winter where it gets dark at 3, 4. So yeah,
Mhm.
that's all.
Okay, okay. Thank you. Smiling. I love that energy too.
Take
Chris,
it,
what's
guys.
going
It's for
on with
y'all.
you, man? Chris, I just have to ask a question. It is not cold in your house, is it? I just want to have a good.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I turned the heat down a little bit.
Copy, copy. All right. There's a plan. All right, I got you.
So yeah, I guess to battle frustration, I think we get frustrated when we don't really know what to do, like the outlet for that frustration. So I do a lot of writing. That's my creative outlet, and so I've written hundreds of letters to the editor that hardly ever get published, but it helps me. It helps me get kind of clarity for myself and in the uh, in the idea of kind of trauma um, healing. Retelling the story many over and over again until it kind of doesn't affect you as much. Kind of helps in that process. So to create, a written piece, it's therapeutic, really. So I don't mind that they don't get published.
Mm.
Is
But
that
yeah,
it? All
always
right.
in the winter, getting outside I think is really important. As soon as you can in the morning. The cold is medicine, really. The cold air helps heal our bodies and clean it. So I don't we're a little too afraid of going outside. We just need to be better prepared. We need like big wool socks. You need to just make sure you have the right outfits. because yeah, we need our health and we need to get outside, get that sun, and just breathe fresh air. Sledding is so simple. Shoveling your
Mhm.
neighbor's driveway. Just think about it as going to the gym. Instead of going to the
Mhm.
gym, you just shovel the street. So you did your workout for the day and you help people walk. Crazy idea.
What about you, young lady?
So I think that I like what everyone said. It was actually had me reflecting. And I'm thinking for myself, like Chris, I write. I think I write and I fight. I'm writing and I'm like fighting myself, like, like trying to challenge, trying to all of the thoughts that I'm having in my mind, I'm trying to make them all happen during the cabin fever. I'm like, okay, I got all this figured out now. Launch, and I'm like, I can't launch nothing. It's feet of snow out there, so it's just like I get this like burst of energy, and I eat a lot too. It's like comfort foods galore: peanut butter and jelly, soup, rice. Come on, keeps making cheesecake, homemade. It's like it's just like so it's kind of like one of those things where it's I want to move around, but maybe after this conversation I might go outside. Like just walk out, walk back in and walk out because the cold is good for you. Because when I was out the first day, it actually hit
Mhm.
me. I'm like, oh, it's not so bad. They're exaggerating. It feels like -40. I don't feel that. But I wasn't outside for more than an hour. But anyway, I was in and out of the. But I got the blues because right now my car won't start. All right, the battery, the battery is in. So I'm like at this frozen, and I'm like, I'm not going back outside until I need to drive, and then I call AAA or get a jump or whatever. But I'm not dealing with it right now. But I know that when I have to move, that's gonna be a part of my. That's why I want to move to where Onika live at or something, because to get away from the snow.
Mhm. Mm-mm. These people crazy in Florida. Y'all see me. I'll be back soon. Give me some more months. I
So
don't
for
care.
me,
I'd rather the snow. I'm sorry. Go ahead, my
no,
brother.
that's all right. I was just gonna. All right, you good? I was just gonna say my hobby to these days is social media. If I'm not on it, I'm usually behind the scenes helping somewhere. I do until up until maybe a few weeks ago, I was doing all the clips, the short clips from
Yes.
because what we realized is nobody wants to watch an hour or two live.
Right.
So we had to come up with some clips, and I was manually going in, screen recording, making the clips. But now StreamYard will generate the clips for you, and it's really nice. But they have a limitation. It's pretty nice, but it makes my life a little bit easier. We've run out of that, but that has made our life a little bit easier. But that's my hobby. I've studied social media. I'm learning. I've been taught how to teach it to seniors,
Hmm.
and I hope this year to be doing that again. I was doing it at the West Side Senior Center for a while, um, and then I stopped. But I hope to get my own thing up and running with that. And I'm also a certified personal trainer, so I want to work with seniors. So before we got a foot of snow, I think it was last week, it was one of those cold days, like
Yep.
last weekend, we needed to get out. So what we did was we drove to Walmart and we did a little shopping. We did more walking. We walked all around it, back and
Yeah.
forth. We got to walking and did a little bit of shopping. So, but today, just to do that traveling it's just a little on the dangerous side.
Yeah.
And there was some things said that I want to address. I don't think they should go without being commented on. I'll begin with you, Chris. You said, I'm an author. I do have a book. I don't know how many letters you have. Even if you have a dozen or 15, if you have the copies, call it. Make a book out of it. Call it "Rejected Letters to the Editors." You'd be surprised and put it on the market. If the letters
Mhm.
is good, people want to read it. Why? It's just people love to read. People love to read other people's writing and thoughts. There's still a thirst and an appetite and a market for that. I think you get something out of it. And there's a couple people online that claim that you can get your book published for free now. So I don't know how much of a scam that is. But,
How did
just
you do
something.
it?
How did I do it?
That's a good
Yeah.
question.
So I have a
I'm
friend.
interested now. That's a great idea.
Right. So how I did it was because I want to write another one and I can't do it the way that I did it before. I'm formerly incarcerated. A book idea came to me. So I called a friend of mine in New York City and I told her my idea. And she said, that's interesting because I want to do a press distribution. I said, what's that? She said, a book distro. She had just got some grant money to do some books free for prisoners. And right then I knew I'm supposed to write this book. So I took me a year and a half. I had a year and a half left. I did it. And when I came home, another year and a half, I completed it. And then what we did through Google Docs. So we shared the document. So she was editing. She was my editor, and then when we finished, she had the grant money. She went ahead and she gave me like maybe 50 books. I didn't really get that much money, $15, but it was all. So if you was inside, you can write us, and we would send you a free copy. So that's how that was done. But I want to do another one, um, and I don't know how which direction I'm gonna go in yet because that source is gone. I believe anyway. I haven't seen it doing anything. Um, is that but just think about it, and we could discuss it outside of this if you want. We can get together, do Spark or whatever. If you have
Yeah,
any other
yeah, yeah.
questions, all right?
Yeah. So the last time that Sister Onika was here, I didn't pull the she's an attorney card, but I'm pulling it now. Like
Oh, okay.
the only reason why I want to highlight her is because she's like the epitome of black excellence to me. Like she's so down to earth. Like you talking to her, you ain't never know this girl is esquired up. You know what I mean? Like she's just,
So
you
one of
know.
my stress relief, one of my stress relief um strategies is to untangle myself from my various roles and personas. So I
But I
try,
just have to
I
say,
try, I try not
I
to lead
just
with it. I don't lead with the fact that I'm a mom. I don't lead with the fact that I practice law. I just lead with, so hi, I'm Monica. And then someone walks in and say, you know who that is? Like she's sitting here. Like I'm like, no, so
but you listen. I'm not. I try to take a great measure not to impede on anybody's personal privacy or cross the boundary. But you said something about you having ADHD on this
yeah,
show live. So I
yes.
feel safe in saying that you have it. But this is a good thing because you have ADHD and you're an attorney. You have a doctorate degree,
Uh,
right? Let me
unmedicated,
repeat that again.
unmedicated,
You have
Unmedicated.
unmedicated.
doctorate degree with ADHD. I want to highlight that because if any of us think that we cannot, you're a perfect example of we can. And I just want to say that to you.
Thank
And with
you.
the Shamaya, you still there? I just wanted to say to you, listen, I'm today I'm a to, and I want to applaud Shamaya too because 3 children. God, may God continue to bless you. Um, listen, that
When
is
you
not
see
a
her, just
struggle.
know I'm switching. I'm a transformer.
Yeah, but that's not a struggle that we should take lightly. When we say, "Oh, she's a single mom," do we even know what that means and what's attached to that? Don't even have a clue. We just say it like it's okay. It's just like opening up a bag of chips or
I
something.
didn't
Nah,
even know.
nah,
I
nah,
didn't
nah,
even know
nah
the
to the
hats
nah,
and the
nah, right?
roles.
And frustration comes with that every step of the way.
I look at my
So
mom so differently now. 'Cause
Mm.
we were
and
just
to you too, Anika. I'm just so all single. Yeah, there you go. I
Thank you.
if that I hope
Shemaya,
that
I
helps a
got
little bit.
five. Shemaya,
I hope
I
that.
got five, and I had two while I was in law school.
I
So
love that.
whatever your goals, whatever your dreams, whatever, because life will continue to grow. Whatever your dreams, like don't let none of that stop you. It's like okay, yeah, come on, let's do this.
I feel like
Definitely
Onika is
that.
talking to me, which somebody she got ADHD. I didn't. I always felt like I wanted to be a lawyer or an attorney because we need one in the family. Like it seems
Yeah.
like we just need one who knows the law and who can practice the law, right? Because I just found out like last year that a lawyer is different from an attorney. I
Hmm.
always thought it was the same thing. I'll call a lawyer. No, you better call your behind an attorney is what you need.
Right. Somebody's gonna
So
litigate for you.
yes, exactly.
I don't know how y'all didn't know I have. I mean, I don't call it around announcing it, but if you know, like Chris teaches. So Chris, I figure, I think that maybe you might have had an idea because like I have a lot of the tendencies, like I disrupt, like because I need to get it out now, otherwise I'm gonna forget. I'm all over the place. Always into a lot of different things, but just
That explains why we are here with
uh
this ADHD going on. And I just like because I
yes.
started reading this neurodivergent, getting into this neurodivergence lingo, which is new to me, but apparently that's the spectrum that I'm on, possibly
Hmm.
highly functional autistic with like some Asperger's or whatever have you. But I'm like, wow, that makes a lot of sense because I feel found. But to know that there are people with neurodivergent minds being attorneys, come on, I might want to have to go see what's up. Like, is it too late for me? I'm just saying.
Uh,
But you know what though, brother Kamal, I don't know if you have anything else you want to say.
Yeah, well, I'm giving you
But I would
opportunity. I
like to
do though.
know what's on everybody's mind. Like we had like a little
Right,
pre-conversation
right,
behind the scene. If this is what we want to talk about, because ironically, Onika is an immigration attorney,
right, right.
and the very highly controversial topic going on right now is about what's happening in our government. Like I like to stay away from those conversations
Right,
because for me,
right.
I'm like all over the place ancestrally.
Mm-hmm.
So every time I say something, it turns into a place where I'm not prepared to go with the person.
Mm-hmm.
So I just leave
mhm.
those conversations alone. So I just wanted to ask them if there's anything that they wanted to,
But
possibly.
before we do that, let me just say that, you know, I know certain conversations and people we can't talk about, our president being one. So I'll just keep it to a minimum, because I have to say, with the little freedom of speech I think I have left, that I've lived long enough to see a few presidents, and this is close to what I've heard about in North Korea, Russia, Cuba, places like that where they had dictators. When they sending people in the street and they starting to shoot people and attack people, their own citizens. Like, and I'm telling these ICE agents don't look like they even have no remorse about it. And they talking
Yeah.
about so it's getting a little scary. I only say that to I don't know if our president realizes it, but it's causing a lot of frustration for this country. And it started with laying people off within the first 30 days, thousands of people losing their jobs and families being impacted. Started with that. Tyrus was in the middle of it, and now just sending troops to the street, ice out. They the goon squad, like
Mhm.
they just I'll just leave that alone. But that's causing a lot of frustration. I don't know, she Sparkle was saying if you want to mention anything about it from your perspective or whatever, what you're going through, feel free.
Yeah. I mean, I can. There's so many different layers to this. And like Sparkle said, as people of color who, you've experienced like a lot of this all your life, but now you're seeing it like broadly being, you know, out there and everybody's all up in uproar. I'm not saying don't be in an uproar because I'm an immigration attorney, right? I'm like, yes, be in an uproar. Yes, they're doing all this. But these are things that have been happening on a smaller scale, just in our like black and brown neighborhoods. But then now, just like and this might be a little bit off topic because like I said, I go all over the place. Now you know why. Just like the civil rights movement, right? A lot of times, a lot of it didn't get any type of traction until the white people got involved. When they started,
Mm.
being victimized because of being called nigger lovers and different things like that. So then now suddenly everybody's up in arms. But like, yeah, we've had a year of this president and this administration doing what they've been doing. And we have so right now we're talking about the the U.S. citizens that were recently shot on the street by ICE,
Uh-huh.
right? But even before that, we've been having people disappear. If you
Mm-hmm.
work with immigrant communities like like people from Burma, etc., they're used to this. They came out of regimes where if
Uh,
the government didn't like what you were saying or whatever, or you spoke up against them, they'll come knock on your door. They didn't have to have no warrant. They'll come pull that young man or woman out who, was standing up and saying something different from what they want to be the message across. And that person will just be disappeared, meaning like they're just sent off somewhere. You don't know what their location is, why they were sent there or anything. They don't. One thing that's important to anyone, we don't want any of our family members to die, but if they do die, that closure is important. You want to be able to have that body, know that person has died, and I can put my person to rest. But we have people who have disappeared in the system. People have lost their children in the system. They don't know
uh,
where they are. On top of that, people that are filing for asylum now in the United States. The United States used to be a place that you can run to for shelter. It says, "Bring me all of your tired, your weak, your whatever." You know that whole speech, right?
Mm-hmm.
That used to be the American dream thing. Well, now we have people who have been in the United States seeking asylum from their oppressors in their country, and they go before an immigration judge, and the judge says, "Well, I understand that you're afraid to go back to your country, and you know what? We're not going to send you back to your country, but let's say, for example, you're from Jamaica, but you're afraid to go back to Jamaica. Well, we have an agreement with Uganda or Panama, we can send you there. So
Wow.
our doors aren't open anymore. And when it gets to a certain point in the hearing where they don't even have the option. You've already told us that you're afraid to go back to your country. So could you imagine me? I'm an English speaker. I don't speak any other languages. And then I am filing for asylum. And then now you're telling me that, well, I can't find asylum in America here anymore, even though, threats to kill me is not considered
Mhm.
persecution anymore. That used to be considered persecution. But if my government is threatening to kill me, it's not persecution anymore. I guess it only becomes persecution when they actually kill me. But then why would I
There
need
you
help?
go.
Right? So you have people that like me, right, that are asking for asylum, and then they pick me up and drop me off in Panama somewhere. When they drop you off, you got what you got on, no money in your pockets, no phones, no contacts. You don't know anybody, so it's easy to get disappeared, right? Those are the ones that get set free. But then the other ones that are sent to concentration camps in other countries where, okay, you're a criminal, but we're not going to keep you in the United States, right? And I'm using the word criminal loosely because a lot of these people haven't even been convicted, right? And they're sent off to the camp, and there's no way to get them back. We don't even know if they're dead, alive, or whatever. So they're
Hey,
disappearing into these black holes, you know. So how do we bring that together? And how, as an attorney, you guys still there? I think they having some technical difficulties. There
it's a
you
little. I'm
go.
sorry. Back. Okay.
It's all right. I'm just saying, how do you, as an attorney, advise people when at this point the law isn't even the law anymore, right? At least I could have, in the beginning when we were trying to fight this, we could say, okay, if they show up to your door with a judicial warrant, and the warrant says specifically
You want
which
me to
store
do
that
it?
person is in there, then it's okay. You
Don't
have to either let them in,
make you
put
have
the
to get up.
person out. We can't even say that anymore. I just posted on Facebook a recently leaked ICE memo where the leadership in ICE they've told these officers that are on the street killing people, they've told them that they don't have to have a warrant to enter people's homes,
mm.
right? We're not requiring you to have a judicial warrant anymore. So that's why they feel empowered to block streets in Minneapolis, knock on each door, call people out. Back in the days when the Jews had to walk with their papers, you have to prove you're a citizen. I literally have copies of my citizenship certificate everywhere. And technically, like why I gotta show my papers, but I gotta put a red sticker on my head that says US citizen, right? So we are in dangerous times. I've been asked to speak in different places, and I'll speak to you. I'll tell you what the law is, but I'm also going to tell you to protect yourself because they're not following the law. This is what the law says. But this gentleman got shot and killed what, 10 bullets, military style on the street, right? In the meantime, while that's happening, um, the president, the first lady just premiered her movie, right? And people were invited to the White House, right? Because it's very like kingdom. Like this is the king, this is the queen, this is what's going on up here, and then all of us, all subjects out here suffering. I don't know if you try to buy groceries lately, but oh my god, I make good money and I can't afford to eat. My kids and I can't afford to eat, so I can even imagine people that didn't bring in what I'm bringing in. So um, I mean, I went off on a lot of different areas there, but we're in very dangerous times. What I can say is this: ICE has to be funded. The CBP has to be funded. Those budgets are getting ready to be voted on in 2026. So what we can do right now is to speak to our congressmen, speak to the people that we voted on. And I mean, at some point, they got to vote. I'm not saying, because you remember when the black people were calling for Black Lives Matter, etc. We were they were calling for defund the police, right? It was like, oh my god, what do you mean defund the police? We're not saying all the way together, but like the amount of power that they have right now, it's unnecessary. Why are we giving people $50,000 bonuses to join ICE, not training them in proper tactical law enforcement, and just throwing them out on the street? You know, we're trying to compare them to the Gestapo and all these other countries, but that's still looking outward. We don't need to look outward. It's right here. Stop saying, oh, we acting like Germany or we acting like Russia. No, we acting like us, just on a bigger scale. And now it's not just affecting the black folks, it's affecting the black, brown, everybody. And those that believed that voting for this new administration would give them some type of you know, power, or now they're realizing that their brothers and sisters are being shut down on the street too. It's terrible. I don't know what else. If you guys could ask questions, I don't know what else.
Yeah, you definitely said a couple things that enlightened me that you won't get in the news, right?
Mm-hmm.
What the first thing that you were saying that you're not going to get in the news is that when you go to immigration court, if you say that you're afraid to return to your country, that's not going to
Mm-hmm.
be the way to stay, right? Because they're going to say, okay, so we got treaties with these other countries. We're going to
Yeah.
send you to one of them, and that's going to solve that
ACA
problem, right?
agreements.
So,
Mm-hmm.
wow, that's crazy right there.
But
And
guess what?
I
Not only
didn't
that,
know
not to
that.
jump in, but do you know the countries that some of the countries that they have agreements with to send people to, they're on the ban list. So you're banning immigrant visas from these countries because obviously you claim that these countries are dangerous and these
Right,
people shouldn't be coming in, but you're deporting people that have never been to those countries there.
right
Make it
back,
make sense.
yeah.
But go ahead.
And then the other thing you were saying about how these ICE agents are not trained. Now how you give somebody a gun to go out and be law enforcement and they're not properly trained, right? Um,
Hmm.
I guess to them it's an emergency. They do it under, with the excuse that, we have this need, we got to fulfill the need. Uh,
Hmm.
but I don't know. I don't know. Does anybody else have anything that they want to say about the immigration? Issue that's or any comments or did it spark any nerves? I didn't want to link on it too long, but it's not just me alone.
Or if any or whatever is on your mind, that's might be a sense of frustration, whatever. It's open flow, you
I'll
know.
just say, seeing it and reading about it is one thing, but going downstairs to borrow some sugar from my neighbor and knocking and watching they respond, it's heartbreaking. I have a neighbor, we got really close. She was there for me in a time of loss. I had lost a baby, and in return, she blessed me with two beautiful goddaughters. I love them to death. And one day she was talking to me and she's like, they're going door to door now. And it took me back. It reminded me of something out of like Roots. Like when she said it, I'm like, oh, like I'm fine. Like I was born here. And then I realized this is everyone's reality. Like
Hmm.
it's a lot bigger than just, you meet Shemaya and her children are okay. I have extended family and friends that are like family. So like I think last week, last Friday is when I really like realized like, oh, this is, let me call her before I knock on her door. Let her know I'm coming to see her, because there is people right now in their house. If they hear a knock, it's just,
Mm.
it's so sad.
Mhm.
Just my thoughts and all of this is like, this is too much. Enough. When's enough gonna be enough? You know,
Mhm.
we grew up around some chaos, and it's just continuing.
How about your
Mhm.
father? You know,
Seeing children bullying other children, saying that,
Yeah.
oh, they're gonna get you, or
Mm.
oh, we're gonna report. Like, I used to get picked on for wearing head coverings or like stupid stuff, being tall, having acne.
Mhm.
You're threatening me with, I like,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's just all.
I was
I
in a
appreciate it.
webinar. I was in a webinar. This 16-year-old was talking about how he's born here in America, but when he goes to school, the children tease him and they tell him different things. And the way they talk to him, he doesn't even know if when he gets home, if his mom is going to be there. So she thinks, oh, they're going to kidnap his mom. They're going to, because that's what they're being told, and they're being used to bully. And the bad thing is we can't even tell them, well, what the kids are saying is not true. Just stand up and be yourself. It is
Uh,
true. He could go home and his mother could like not be there, and his father could like not be there.
that's
You know?
that's
Most
sad. That's
definitely.
really sad right there. How about you, Chris? Any thoughts on this
Yeah,
subject?
I have a
Yeah.
lot of very close people who I consider family that are very directly affected by all of this.
Mm.
Yeah, it's just horrible. People don't want to go to the grocery store. People don't. So I think it's really important for us to be able to build our communities to support things like that. I mean, you should have a network of friends that you could rely on to do your grocery shopping if you're sick one week, and
Mhm.
when we have a national emergency like this, we can easily just put that into place. Okay, yeah, we're not going to the store because we might get picked up, for the next couple months. But we had that mechanism in place. I think all of these grassroots, community-led um, ways of tackling the problems need to be sought for us to kind of get through all of it. And yeah, it's scary. It's terrible.
The thing is, though,
Wow.
Chris, even in Minneapolis, you just mentioned people being afraid to go to the grocery store. So the food bank started like boxing food up, and volunteers would take food to people's houses so that they
Mm.
won't have to come out. Well, the ICE agents started following the trucks that were delivering the food. Like, when is enough enough? When is humanity? Okay, when do you say, okay, I will capture them if they're on the street, or I will capture them when they, but I will not follow the food van. Or where's the line?
Yeah.
There just
It,
isn't one.
Yeah, and then on our side of trying to fix it, these are all just band-aids. Like you're saying,
Hmm.
like it's not really addressing they can't be targeting people
Hmm.
going at the grocery store. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And then it's a rule by terror and by fear, because if keeping your friend who you might be an immigrant in your house, or in the case of Alex recently, he didn't even know that lady. They pushed her down and he jumped in front of her and he got shot. Right? If protecting folks and trying to get people to work by the rule of law gets you killed, guess what? A lot of people are gonna do this and retreat to their homes in fear, because you can't even if you're a US citizen or whatever else, you can still die, you
Hmm.
know?
So I'm going to assume you do not need any clients at this time. So you
Not at
don't need
all.
to brand. You don't have to brand yourself right now. Put no info out there, 'cause I'm sure you got your
Mm-mm.
cup full, right? Uh,
Yes.
I wanted to kind of switch gears a little bit, if it's all right with
So
everybody.
go ahead. Yeah.
And Shemai, I'm coming to you. If you want,
I'm here.
without talking about your mother, I want to kind of give you a opportunity to talk about what your mother is doing at the Becker Center. Um, if you want. If not, I
Yeah.
will. Me and
No.
Sparkle can. All right. Because
Such
this
an
what
honor.
she's doing this
My
for
heart just
help.
started twinkling because it's like you don't realize how close you are to it. It's such an honor. So my
Yes.
mom has the CLC, and so in the center she's opened up the center to health and wellness classes. She does her personal training, her strength training, and her Zumba classes. But she also is open every Friday with her cafe. But her center, it's pretty much developing to becoming like a community center as well. There's a lot of patients that just pops in and know that they can come for support.
Hmm.
There's times where I'm doing hair braiding out of it. There's times where someone's renting it out and it's either a birthday party or a homegoing. So it's really becoming um what would you call it, a community center, Sparkle?
Right.
I would like to call it a healing center.
A
Right.
healing center. Right, right. Our last
Yeah.
event we went
Right.
to,
Right.
man.
A
Um
community healing center.
With some town hall flavor, right?
well,
Because I think the most prominent event I went to was a couple months was the one about reparations,
oh
and
yeah.
the state came and set up there, the state of New York, and it was big. I mean, they had a staff. They had at least about 12 people on staff. They had about there was three or four commissioners that was on that board for reparations for the state of New York. It was official, and it's becoming that type of center. We've also last month, well, your mother has also um, done cervical cancer, prostate cancer,
Mm.
um, breast cancer, just to name a few. But everything she's done, if it's not health and wellness, her food is also about health and wellness. You know,
Mhm.
she serves healthy food. So you said cafe, but she sells dinners on Friday night um, with healthy desserts
Oh, an
as
open mic
well.
too. She's been doing the open mic
The
with different hosts.
open mic,
It
right?
gives
Yes.
me, I will say me personally, I used to be in the streets. I used to be a party
Hmm.
girl. It gives me that feel. It gives
Right,
me that
right,
freedom of
right.
family love expression without having to go take a couple shots at a bar. So like
Right,
it's
right.
a lot of like she clean, healthy, healing fun.
Mhm.
Yes.
So what was the sip and
She
paint? Talk about that.
That was
Sparkle
the
attended
that was actually the peace and paint
peace and paint.
Peace and
where
oh,
we
that
had
one
the
sparkle.
yes.
She
Come on,
put me
let's
in
talk
a
about it.
trance.
Let us know. We don't know. Talk to
She
us like we
put.
don't know.
I think I looked over at Sparkle. She's at peace. I'm at peace. We're just painting. She put me in a trance where I fell asleep that night and I overslept for the school bus the next day. I was so peace. She that peace. How did you feel when she walked you through it, Sparkle?
It was really good because I'm usually on the other end giving people guidance on how to meditate, with mindfulness classes and stuff like that. So to really be guided by Sister Tioka was really a treat. And then when it was time to paint, I was kind of like hoping to be guided through my painting, but she was like, "Oh no, you're gonna paint what comes to your own mind and your own brain." So it was interesting to see what came out. What came out was the colors of like red, black, and green, a little bit of a pyramid going on. Like I really like symbolism. So some symbolism came across with with some numbers and just the way I see things. So to see where I was in that moment was very interesting.
Yeah, I told her, I said, yeah, I'll come. I'm not painting.
Just saying
I
bye.
can't paint. You're not going to be,
Leaving.
Chris is waving at the baby. You're not going to
Oh.
be telling me that I can paint because I can't. She goes, no, just do it. So when she really told me to like
That
pick
was
a
a great
color, what
experience.
color feels like you, I realized we can do anything. We just got to be willing to open up to it. And like, I'm going to send you a picture later of the hat I made. I kid you not, I don't know anything about this, but it's just the fact of we can do anything. Her sitting there and telling us, think of a word that describes yourself, and going from that, it's all in us. Cause I loved your
Mm.
painting. I knew
Sister
Aw.
exactly where you were
Tioka,
going, and I wanted
Sister
you to take me
Tioka
there
has
with
that
you.
skill. Sister Tioka has that skill of tapping in and like, helping you to bring out those things that you never knew were in there. Like I didn't know I could
That part.
homeschool. She was like, "Why you keep torturing these children? You can see they don't like to be there." Because she was dropping the kids off at school, and it was Friday to get back in the van with her. She's like,
Oh,
"What you doing?" And like, so, like, she taps you in, and then once you get going with it, you're like, "Oh wow, this is a skill I didn't know I had." Because that's one of Sister Tioka's definitely one of her strengths.
Yes.
I
Yeah,
was
she
those
in
are
Utica
your
recognized
for
me the
children.
homeschooler
My mom
too.
yeah.
used to drive up here. I remember it. I'm sorry.
And they were like, "I gotta go to the kids." They try to
So
run away from the school again.
one more thing. How
Sparkle.
close are you to your brother,
Hi, Kiki. Hi, baby.
Shamaya?
Say hi to the other
How
Oh,
close?
baby.
How close
There's
are you to
another
your brother?
baby.
um,
Hi.
I mean, the
Baby.
doctor.
The doc. There we go.
Hey.
I didn't want to. I didn't want to say it, but
No,
you also have a brother
I
that's a
mean,
doctor. So
Homeschool at that.
so right.
and
So
he's
we
the
were homeschooled
man over
together.
there.
That's
He's
And
in
crazy.
charge over there. He's the head doctor over there in the
yes,
emergency
he
room.
is.
Yeah.
That's
I'll
crazy.
say it like this. We were homeschooled together, so as close could be.
Say
But
hi.
if you'll be honest, if you ever seen like the shows like The Good Doctor and just the doctors in themselves, doctors are weird. I see him when I see him. But if there's
So,
anything wrong, if I'm breathing weird, the baby's breathing weird, this don't look right, he's coming. But
okay.
he is.
Okay.
I think he
Okay.
does protect himself where he does like he goes into himself a lot. But don't think I ain't get bullied my entire life by him. Don't think because he's a doctor I ain't get it. I was growing up being adopted. He told me I was a mouse.
Ah,
But
ah.
no, having a doctor in the family really
He's still your
I'll
big brother. That's what it
I'll
is.
be as you say, as a single mom, yes. And when being a parent, you have to put on many roles, but I was blessed to be able to know I can call up my mom, I can call up my dad and call up the doctor like, what is this? And why is it like this?
So it's 9 o'clock, guys. It's up to you. We can hang around another half an hour. If not, depend. We don't know what you guys have to do.
I gotta go be a mom.
I
So
wanted I wanted Chris to tell us a little bit about his travels to Asia recently.
okay.
Oh
If he doesn't mind
yeah.
There we go.
sharing.
Asia.
'Cause I was like, oh my
Glory.
God, look.
You
Yeah,
said you
no.
have to
So
go, Shemaya.
Take me
Should we
through
say?
that. Take me
Should
through
we? You said you
there.
have to go though.
Yeah, I'm still gonna listen though. I'm just gonna drop down.
Okay,
That's all.
fine.
I got a
Okay.
9 o'clock
All right.
bedtime,
All right.
and
Take
I'm
us through there.
sick.
Take us through there.
nice meeting you, Shemaya.
Nice meeting you too.
All right.
Thank you guys for this opportunity.
Thank you for sharing too. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, so we went
Uh,
to Thailand in November. We went for the month of November. We flew to Chiang Mai. So a lot of the community here from Thailand came through Chiang Mai. It's a bigger city in Thailand. And we have a couple friends that live there, so we kind of house hopped and then went to a couple different villages and saw waterfalls and different temples, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's really
I saw
interesting.
baby girl getting into all the nature. It was like, I was like, whoa.
Yeah, she loves animals. She loves being
Aw.
outside. So she likes it. She talks to animals. She's talking to the cows. It was really funny.
You said
Mama
this
kiss.
was China?
No.
Thailand.
Where?
Silent.
Oh,
Mama kiss.
Thailand. Okay. So I have the question that comes to mind. How was the energy of the people compared to the energy here? Do you see any obvious differences? Anything noticeable?
Yeah, so when we got there, the queen had just died, or the mother queen, queen mother, the king's mother. And so the country was in a state of mourning for I don't remember how many days, maybe 60 days or 90 days. So there was a lot of black like ribbons on official buildings, and there weren't as many celebrations, or they were kind of toned down. But yeah, it is an interesting. I mean, it's a country that has a monarchy. It's kind of completely different from anything that's familiar over here. Utica, anyway. And you're not really supposed to speak about the royal family. they're pretty strict about that. If you, I think somebody insulted the royal dog, their dog, and they went to jail. That could just be a rumor, but you're not really supposed to even talk about them, even good either. And they
Wow.
have, yeah, and they have that ruling class that's based on race, and then there's tons of ethnic minorities that live around the country that aren't really seen as citizens or given as many rights or
Mhm.
ownership over land and whatnot. So, yeah, it's another country with all of its geopolitical issues and all of its dysfunction, but it's beautiful. Great.
So what did you do while you was there? What fun things did you do?
Yeah, so we drove because we weren't my partner, she was working online, so she'd work in the evenings, but we kind of drove around to different areas of the country,
Come
and,
here.
and stayed with our friends. Um,
I'm
different
doing
Chiang Mai.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of temples, so we went to a lot of different temples. Um, we went to a few different villages, so yeah, homestays. You stay at somebody's like a Airbnb kind of.
Okay.
Um, yeah.
Okay.
That's
Is that
cool.
part of the Golden Triangle, one of those countries? No, not
So the
Thailand.
Golden Triangle, yeah, I think it's above, like in northern Thailand, Burma. I'm not really sure, but yeah, it's up that way.
Because Laos and
Hmm.
Cambodia, I think is part. Is Thailand one of them or
They're right, all next to each other. Yeah,
all next to each other? Okay.
you,
All right.
and then
did you
China's.
guys visit the elephants?
Yeah, yeah, we saw elephants.
Wow.
she loves animals, and the elephants, they're so big. It's really neat to see. And so there's a lot of initiatives to kind of conserve and save the elephants and have them live more humanely. And so there's a lot less riding the elephants or different abusive tactics that they used to use for tourism. Now it's really just you can maybe see them for 10 minutes as they're walking by. Well, it's just better for the animals, culture, and whatnot.
Mm.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hey.
You have any questions for him?
No, I think I'm pretty much done. I guess the last thing I would ask everybody who's here with us is like, what's one last thing you want to tell people before you exit? Because people, getting back to the topic at hand, the original reason why we wanted to do this is to kind of like, you know, pull people from the cabin fever, even if it's for a moment, right? Have this conversation because we have already almost 100 views
Well,
while we are broadcasting now.
that's big.
Oh
So
wow.
Oh, that's a lot
yeah,
for us. Yeah,
yeah.
that's a
I
lot for
mean,
us.
we're growing. Thank God.
Like
But
right now they're watching us.
like right now they're
Oh,
watching us. Yeah.
cool.
So they're not interacting, they're not saying much, but they're watching. So the fact that people are watching, that's what makes me prompt. I just got finished checking. So if you saw me down, I wasn't ignoring anyone. I was just sharing the platform. And while sharing the platform, I was able to see that there's already close. It's like actually 93, 90, but it's close to 100
Okay.
people who are viewing right now. So I just thought that while I have you all and people are actually tuning in,
Mhm.
there has to be a purpose on why. What would you like to say to them? Some closing words, to kind of keep them warm or keep them empowered or something, anything, before we will leave
I'd
them
say
tonight.
get outside, talk to your friends and family, and drink a lot of water.
For me, I would say breathe, disconnect from your persona, like the internet persona, the professional persona, disconnect from that and just like center yourself in who you are as a person. And like Chris said, get outside, get some of that, air going.
And I would say dance.
Ooh.
For some of us who have limited mobility, put on your favorite song, however you can connect to a vibration and move, blink those eyes if you got to. Do something that you can move with the rhythm because that rhythm is going to keep us flowing. Clap your hands if you don't have, do something to kind of have your body get that out. You know, if you're limited, but listen to music, rock out, headphones, whatever you got going on, and keep it on repeat.
Mhm.
Okay.
For
Thank
me,
you, Sparkle.
I
Absolutely.
can't help but you know remember a time where there was no social media, and maybe a lot of you don't, and some of you do. But for those of you that don't know this, there wasn't always this opportunity to video chat like this, right? There were no cell phones. It was just landlines, right? And so let's just think for a minute. If there was no cell phones, no internet, no Wi-Fi, where you could do FaceTime and then video chat, if you was alone in your house right now in this winter storm, what would you do? And there's a chance that the phones would go down because those landlines was all wires. So in winter storms, it wouldn't. It's not unusual for the phone lines to be out. Now it's Wi-Fi, so it's a little more secure. So I just wanted to say that we should be grateful for this opportunity for 100 people to be watching. Thank God for that, and prayerfully somebody got something out of the time that you guys took out of your schedule to come on and to be with us, right? The other thing I want to say is that as someone that's trying to be a facilitator of these type of programs, um, I realize, and as well as Sparkle, that everybody's not going to be in front of the camera for whatever
Mhm.
reason, and we accept that. We're meeting you where you at. If you're behind the scenes and you're getting something out of it, okay, we accept that. Those that's bold enough or courageous enough or just built to come on and be in front of the camera and comfortable, we accept that too. So we're not holding anything against anybody either way. And those that spend their time with us, there's many people that's capable. We can't get everybody to spend the time, right? You'd be surprised about that. So that I want to repeat that again. We appreciate you and Chris, you and Nika and you, Chris, for coming on and Shamaya, and for being open and
Absolutely.
candid. That's all I have. I don't know if anybody have a second thought, but I'm good.
And everybody who's been listening at home,
Yes, absolutely,
I have to
absolutely.
put on songs now. Don't let it go to your head now.
So I just got a text from somebody. I'm not going to mention, I just got a personal text from somebody that I invited for the first time. When I get your permission, I'll put you out there, and hopefully you'll see him on social media. He's a brother, a church brother. We'll just put it that I'm in church now. He's one of my church brothers. Starting to get a couple people from the church watching now. So God is
So
good.
thank you all for watching.
Thank you. Good night,
Good
guys.
night. Until next
Good
time.
night.
Thank you.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye. Good night.
Bye.